Hello everyone, now I'm here with my next video of functions, and in this video I want to tell you about how we are going to create functions, what is functions, and how many types of functions we are having. And basically we had already discussed what is function previously, because Java is based on OOPS language, and in OOPS we are having principles that are class and objects. And in class is basically a collection of data, and function, we know what is function. Previously we had already created a function, that is main function. uh, all the logic we had created inside main function, because always main function will be executed. Now through this video you are going to see how we are going to create other function. Like main functions, we are having other functions also. We can create other functions, and how we are going to create, now you can see. First of all, I told you that we are having a class is a combination of data and function, and data may be of static or instance type. We will discuss later about it. And class contain data and functions were behavior, and we have to wrap them together inside a class. That's why we are having a one class with us. For example, class name is month, then we have uh, data and function of class month. And see, data is data declaration, we can declare any data, and then we have any number of functions inside a class month. For example, I'm taking month. And see, function is also known as methods, or we can say that it's a part of a program containing few grouped statement for performing a particular task. For example, if a task is to find factorial is a task, and for finding factorial we are needed for a few lines, and these lines were few grouped statements. And if I'm trying to group that statement together inside one thing, that is function. And how I'm going to do that, I will tell you later. See the second point, it is the structure which contain prototype and a block of few grouped statement. It is basically a structure which contain few statements which we are going to run. But we are having two types of functions right now. One is user defined and one is predefined. For example, see, if we are writing public static void main string args, main is a function with function brackets. That's why the color I had chosen red to show you all. Function bracket with the red color. Function bracket, in front of function bracket, what we are having? Name of a function. See, main is a function, that is user defined, because always we are declaring main function. And one more thing, see the second example, system.out.println. You know, system is a class, out is the object, and println is a function, but we are not declaring it. Who is declaring it? It is a predefined function for us. Already Java provides us println function which is predefined. We are not defining it. That's why we are having two types of functions. One is user defined and another one is predefined. And see, declaration of a function means we have to go through a syntax of a function. How we are going to declare it? And see, first one is X specify. See, in previously we are having public static void main string args. Public is an X specifier. Then we have second one is return type. See, return type and return void. Static is just a keyword. And then function name. Now we are having main, name of a function. Then a parameter list. String args is a parameter of a function main. Then we have body of a function. Main also contain R code inside main, that is body of a function. That's why you are familiar with the syntax. First one is access specifier, that is public. Return type, that is void. Function name, that is main. Parameter list, that is string args square bracket. You know already main function you are having. Previously you had declared so many times. That's why it is easy to remember the syntax of functions. And see, function contains first one, that is function header of prototype. First line what we are writing is function prototype. This line is function prototype, or we can say it is function header. And then see, then curly braces. Curly braces shows scope of a function. And group of statement as body, we can write anything here. We can have logic of factorial here. Anything inside this function. Then see, components of function. The first one is header. Header we are using. Why we are using header? Because it indicates which type of function it is. Name, return type, access specifier, parameter list. Parameter list shows us what we are accepting as input. Return type shows us what we are providing as output. And function name we are having, which shows us what we are doing inside a function. That's why we are having access specifier, return type, function name, parameter list. First line of a function is header, or we can say it is prototype. Then we have function signature. When we are going to call a function, that is invoked. Calling of a function is invoked. When we are going to call a function, then that time we can write name and parameters. Then that one is function signature. We will discuss it later on when I am going to provide you example for that. Then you are able to understand what is function signature. But for now, remember function name with parameter is function signature. Then we have access specifier. You know that what is access specifier? Public, private, protected. I told you earlier, it always shows us scope of a particular thing. Now we are using with function, that's why scope of a function. And then we are moving further. One statement is return type. Return type means what we are taking as output from a function, that is return type. Previously I told you about main function. Main is a function, and from main function we can return one particular thing, or we can display it there only. That is return type. We have to specify either return type or void, either the data type or void. Data type shows that we are returning integer value, that is integer value. For example, sum is integer value. We are returning sum. And see, if we are returning nothing here, then we have to write void. Void is a keyword which shows us we are returning nothing from a function. That is return type. And then we are moving further. We have function name. You know that we are having two functions. Should be related with the task. Means, for example, we are having sum, we are having add, in example. And then we have, see, then we have parameter list. In a previous slide, we are having parameter list. See, these are parameter lists. Always remember that the function with the bracket contains something that is known as either argument or parameter. Just remember that. argument or parameter. Then see, this one is parameter list. Parameter list we are having. Means what type of data we are accepting as input in a function. And just remember that after every argument you have to put comma, and with every argument you have to specify data type also. Now see body. Body of a function means curly braces to curly braces. What we are writing inside a function, these curly braces shows us scope, where these statements were valid or not. After the curly braces, after closing curly braces, if I am writing int a, it is present inside this curly braces. If I am using a here, a is not in scope right now. Means we are already getting some syntax error. Why? Because a is not declared inside the curly braces. Something, if I'm writing in a here and I want to use a here, then syntax error appears, that because a is already present inside brackets, in this scope it is not valid. And after that we are having return statement. Just remember that return statement should be in last line of a function, because return shows us that we have to return a value from that position only. After that nothing runs. If we are having a function and few statements were written here and then are written return from here, return means we have to run it back. Means from here we are going back. Means these lines are not going to execute. That's why you have to remember that return should be in last line of a function. Otherwise it creates problem. You can write it with a function bracket also or without function bracket also. But just remember only one value. You have to write return any of the values. For example, it is 0. Any of the value you can write, but just remember only one value. Otherwise syntax error appears. And then see, next few things you have to remember about return. 1, always be in last line, I told you earlier also. And after that the single value either in the bracket or normal, I told you earlier. And then more than one written statement we can have, but at the time only one will execute. That is first one. If I am writing more than one written number 1, written number 2, written number 3, written number 4, in that way, then see, when first written execute, it will go back. These line never executes. Just remember that this lines never executes. Then see what happened. And after that, the fourth one, we can use return with bidirectional statement if we want to use. If I'm writing if a is greater than b, then return a, else return b. Else return b. See, we can write in this way also. Means any one of them executes at a time and never use within loops. Otherwise, when once executed, never execute again. If I'm writing inside a function and I'm writing with the loop, what will happen? If I written here, then it go back from a function. Then the loop iteration never runs again and again. Just remember that. And see, moving further, functions declaration with header. The method declaration with the header, see, it had written a class my class 10th The static int sum, int num1, num2. Sum is method name. Int is return type. Static is just a keyword used to run a function automatically. Then we have parameter list, means int num1 and num2 both are parameter list. And what you have to remember, these parameter lists can receive any value at a time. Values were not specific, that's why it is known as formal parameter, because it can receive any value at a time. Values were not fixed, that's why it is formal. Parameter lists specify the type and name of a parameter, and these are formal parameters. Why we need function? When same set of statement present in your program in different locations, just remember, in different locations, then method allow us to write it once and use whenever it is required. For example, if we are having a statement present in one position and we want to repeat it again and again, we are using loops. But if the same statements were repeated again and again in your logic but in different position, then you have to write the statement. Then functions allow us to use these statement once, so that what will happen? Method allow us to reuse snippet, means group of statement, without re-typing it, and we will save our time also, and the complexity reduces, length of code reduces, because we are writing these statements only once. And see how. For example, we are having a group of statements 3 times, means for example, I'm taking set of statement, means I'm finding factorial 1 time, 2nd time, 3rd time I'm finding factorial of 5, then I'm finding factorial of 7, then I'm finding factorial of 8. You know, I think you all know the factorial, meaning of factorial. See, the small example I'm taking, factorial of 2, factorial of 3, factorial of 4. See, factorial of 2 is 1 into 2. Factorial of 3 is 1 into 2 into 3. And for factorial of 4 is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. If I want to find factorial of these 3 values, means logic of factorial will be repeated 3 times in different positions. These are few statements. In between these few statements, then all these statements were same except value of a factorial. Now see, the value of factorial were changed, that is 2, 3 and 4, but the statements were same. We are just providing all these statements again and again here. But see, writing again and again is better, or writing once here. One time is better than writing again and again. Same set of statements we are writing again and again, but functions allow us to write once. See how. We can write our set of statement inside any of the method, and then from anywhere we can call that method. From anywhere we can call that method. Any number of times we can call that method without writing logic again and again. Just by calling a method, we can operate a sentence again and again from anywhere. This is a benefit of creating a particular function. Any number of function we can have we have main function. With main function we can have any number of methods. Any, you can place here also, you can place after main function also, and we will discuss later. We are having some static and non-static functions. We will discuss later on. This video I am concentrating on why we are creating method and how we are going to create method. Just that. And see, bye bye. And if you have any doubt, then ask. Otherwise, good luck. Goodbye.